Live. Welcome to the program on tonight. As you're coming onto the program, if you don't mind, kindly subscribe to Tyrone Bowman Live. You'll be surprised what stories we'll be covering here on this particular channel. All right, let's get right down to it. It's good news for Special Prosecutor Jack Smith and bad news for former President Donald Trump. According to the Washington Examiner, a federal district court judge ruled Tuesday that special counsel Jack Smith can file a more than 180-page evidence brief in the January 6th case against former President Donald Trump, dismissing claims from Trump's legal team that allowing the filing would be unfair and overtly political as the election approaches. No, this is what's unfair for Trump and J.D. Vance to be persecuting poor immigrants, the Haitian immigrants from. So let me get back to this story. As the court explained, allowing the government to submit an opening brief does not deny the defense an opportunity to address the issues. District Judge Tanya Chutkan wrote in a 6-page order saying Trump's concern with the political consequences of those proceedings does not bear on the pre-trial schedule. As you know, Trump has been trying to get every case dismissed or thrown out before the upcoming election. And there are people right now who are in prison because of their actions that occurred on January 6th, and they feel betrayed by him. Over the weekend, Smith informed Chutkan he was relying or readying a 100-page filing with more than 30 additional papers for exhibits that will discuss the evidence in the case and make an extensive argument as to why Trump should face charges, despite the Supreme Court's 6-3 presidential immunity decision from July 1st. The special counsel's office said the lengthy brief is necessary for a detailed, fact-bound, and thorough analysis as instructed by the Supreme Court. Trump's lawyers opposed that motion Monday afternoon, saying Chutkan should first address preliminary questions before allowing prosecutors to proceed with such a filing, such as contesting whether Trump's communications with former Vice President Mike Pence should be included in the indictment, because the defense says that activity constituted presidential duties that are shielded by immunity. All right, let's get into this. Since when does an insurrection constitute presidential duties? See, this is where people have got to stop obliviously going through life thinking that what occurred on January 6th of 2020 was some type of peaceful protest, when in fact it was mutiny. Remember the movie Mutiny on a Bounty? This was audacious. This was criminal. This was out of order and out of line. You lost an election. You got pissed off because you lost. And like a spoiled brat, a child who cannot have his way, decided he'll just destroy the whole damn nation. And thought he could get away with it and there would be no consequences for his actions. And look at all the people who right now who are in prison because they said he, based upon his orders, they did it. There are people who are languishing in prison right now because of him, and he's not trying to help any of them. He's not paying their legal fees. He's not calling their families. He's not offering any apologies. He just simply said, well, when I become president, because they're patriots, I will pardon every one of them. They don't have the access to all these lawyers and hundreds of millions of dollars and nonprofit money coming into the coffers of the Trump campaign to defend themselves. Now, granted, some of them need to go to prison. People were killed, people were maimed, people were hurt. The coward Republicans who supported Trump were hiding under their desks. Yet they would not condemn the actions of this man. Then they wanted to hang former Vice President Mike Pence because he did the right thing legally and constitutionally and certified the election. There are some things that are right, and there are many things that are just plain wrong. Certain things you do, certain things you just don't do. If you or I would have done the same thing, if Barack Obama would have done the same thing, had he lost to Senator John McCain, they would have arrested him, tried him, and executed him on the same day. And you know it. You know they would have made an example out of Barack Obama. Trump should not get a free pass. He thinks he can say and do anything and it's okay. The liquidity of it all is insidious. What presidential duties constitutes an insurrection? Because that's what it was. It was an insurrection. It was mutiny. It was criminal. It was insane. It was ugly. It was hideous. And what was he doing? He was back there having a party, watching on the big screen. They had champagne, high-fiving each other, laughing. People were calling him, telling him, call this stuff off. He didn't want to listen to them. He did just what he wanted to do. And then when he finally came to his senses, it was half-hearted, meaningless. The damage had been done. And he knew exactly what he was doing. It was intentional, it was premeditated, and it was planned. How do you know? What did he say? Proud Boys. Stand down and stand by. That's a coded message. And one of the things that happens in this, well, let me strike the word innocent, but ordinary, everyday people who commit minor crimes go to prison for long periods of time. They're not getting any mercy, no justice. They can't afford top lawyers. And what is the justifiable thing behind it? Well, we're protecting the community against these dangerous people. There are more criminals in politics who make the laws and break them and then lie and cover it up. You got one congressman right now that's a pedophile, but they haven't taken him out of Congress. Involved with underage girls at a party, drinking and smoking and carrying on. You can see that smug look on his face, thinking that he's gotten away with something. In a recent court hearing, Smith's team suggested that the opening court filing on presidential immunity would be packed with damning information about Trump that supported their underlying charges against him. Why are Trump's lawyers so afraid? You can't claim innocence because there was nothing innocent about what happened on January 6th. That's one Gates. Yes, thank you. Congressman Gates. He should have been arrested a long time ago. I bet you if a black congressman had been charged with the same filthy, dirty things that Gates was, if he just been charged, they would have thrown him out of Congress. He'd been charged and locked up by now. And you know it. Gates is a criminal. He has no right to be serving any congressional district whatsoever. He should have been charged a long time ago. And when they finally do charge him, it's going to be on something minor. He's been bribing people, trying to get people to shut up, don't talk about it. He's been hiding under the cloak and collar of the law. Then you have shows like How to Catch a Predator. They set the stings for perverts to come, then they lock them up. End the case. Just because somebody wears a shirt and tie, and because they say they represent somebody, doesn't mean that they have ethics and morality and integrity. The special counsel's office said such a filing would include materials such as grand jury testimonies, FBI interview transcripts, and other evidence, all of which could thrust unflattering details about Trump into the spotlight in the final weeks of the presidential election. Then so be it. He's damning of Vice President Kamala Harris without any substantiated evidence whatsoever from one city to another, lambasting her over and over and over again, calling her every kind of name. But he can't take it when somebody gives him his own venom back. Then he wants revenge. He wants to kill everybody, lock everybody up, put them away for life. Because he wants to be the dictator, suspend the Constitution of the United States of America. Former federal prosecutors have said it is unclear how much new information may be disclosed to the public in the 180-page motion. We don't need to know. Just get on with the freaking legal proceedings and do what must be done, as some of the details may have significant redactions, while other information may have already been made known by the now-defunct House January 6th committee. The deadline for Smith to make his filing is on Thursday, though the special counsel is allowed to make filings ahead of the deadline and has a track record of filing early. Trump is facing 4 felony counts in relation to Smith's allegations that he unlawfully sought to overturn the 2020 election. The other criminal case from Smith has been dismissed, though he's seeking to revive the case, which accuses Trump of mishandling classified documents in a federal appeals court. The former president was found guilty on 34 felony counts in New York this summer in relation to falsifying business records in an attempted scheme to hide an affair with porn star Stormy Daniels. An racketeering indictment similar to the January 6th case is stalled in Georgia as Trump seeks to remove Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis over allegations of corruption. Now let's deal with this. Who do you know that can walk out of court after having found guilty of 34 felony counts? Nobody. Nobody except him. No, the bail wasn't revoked. Okay, you're free to go. As a matter of fact, no, you're free to go, but we hope you win the presidency. Good luck, Mr. Trump. If that was a black man convicted of 34 felony counts and he was a presidential candidate, you know damn well he would have locked his behind up that day and disqualified him from running for the presidency of the United States of America. Don't play with me. There's a 2-tier judicial system in this nation, and you know it is. One for rich white people and one for black people and any other minority group. And he had the affair with Stormy Daniels while he was running for the presidency of the United States in 2016. He's pleaded not guilty in every case. He faces, whatever. What else would he do? Of course he's going to say he's not guilty. Some of these charges are not going anywhere. Whether people like it or not, just because you support him as your candidate doesn't mean that he's exempt from the things that transpired while he was president. Because if you and I did the same things, we wouldn't have had all this favor from anyone. We would have been found guilty. Never surrender, never quit.